Okay, it's November 23rd, 2019. George Webb reporting from Mystery Island, not too far here from where our good friend Colby, when he's trying to extract all the skeletons out of the CIA closet, he ends up going in the drink here. You can see I'm a little bit safer now than on the William Colby Memorial Kayak. So latest research today, just incredible. If you remember Adam Schiff during the impeachment hearings, he had this sidekick right over to his side the whole time, and everyone was wondering who it was. Well, I believe it's Maher, M-A-H-E-R, Maher Bitar, B-I-T-A-R. Now, what is so interesting about Maher Bitar is we have him being at Florida International University. You remember Florida International University. That's where Bernie Wisnat had his wife teaching. She was in the medical school there. You may also remember that there was a Smolek, a guy from the State Department who was working in Southeast Asia that was very closely related to Bernie Wisnat, very closely related to those two deaths. I was in Washington, D.C. You may remember the film I did the night as the bells were tolling with Trump Tower. And then, of course, you may remember me going and actually walking the beach where Bernie Wisnat washed up and going to Florida International University. And at that time, I talked about a program called MAVNI, which is Military Assets Vitally Needed in Case of an Insurrection. And the program, it looks like, at FIU, we were honing in on FIU then, we were honing in on Bernie Wisnat, we were honing in on Ebony Wisnat, we were honing in on MAVNI. But what it looks like is the Advanced Research Center, the ARC, the Advanced Technologies part of FIU is really the area that seems to be the most interesting, especially with the Department of Energy. Again, this Z Division idea, Department of Energy. And again, just like Bob Mueller was involved with decommissioning Fahrenheit and decommissioning Rocky Flats and decommissioning all these nuclear plants and then kind of consolidating everything to Piketon, Ohio before it gets shipped out. These folks seem to be very involved in decommissioning and decontamination. They seem to be what's called a Department of Energy Fellow. I produced a couple of them, Juan Morales, a couple of other folks from the program that I know were in the FIU program, and they key in on three areas, not just D&D, decommissioning and decontamination, but also aerospace and defense. Where have we heard that before? With composites. Again, composites being a dual-use technology that can be used in helicopters or airplanes, aircraft, and so forth. And then the other third and final one, which is, I believe, his wing, if you will, which is Maher Bitar's wing, is the cyber hacking and IT division. This is cyber defense, cyber hacking, that sort of thing. Again, this is going to be the area where you're going to find Dimitri Alperovich, Crowdstrike, so forth, hacking tools that WikiLeaks released, the Vault 7, Vault 8, that type of technologies is what FIU is going to specialize in, and it very much seems like this is the Oconus Lures program. Now, the other thing that's a little bit odd is we see Maher Bitar, remember this is the right-hand man, sort of the puppet of Adam Schiff. We see him being advertised as sort of a spokesmodel in several different Arab Spring revolutions. He's a Georgetown lawyer, if you believe his bio that he's been published as a White House consultant and so forth. I didn't remember seeing him in any Georgetown pictures or any White House pictures, but that's how he's being portrayed. And he is supposedly Florida International University. That's how he came to the United States. Is this the program that Imran Awan came in on, which is sort of this inter-America, I should say, program? We don't know yet. We're looking at several IDs and addresses now for Imran Awan in Florida. Again, we're looking at all these addresses all over Florida, both sides of Florida, Venice side of Florida Beach too, and then we're looking at Texas. If you remember the Strucks, when they were coming at night in the middle of the Situation Room of the White House being called there, they were coming from three key areas: Florida, Texas, and San Diego. And that's the other place we're looking at a lot of different California addresses. Is this the Oconus Lures program? Is Adam Schiff kind of the spy master in Congress with the Oconus Lures program through FIU? Remember David Kramer also, the guy who writes the dossier, smears it all over Washington, D.C., smears it, passes it around to the barbecue, the dossier barbecue, and everybody gets their sticky fingers on the dossier, that same David Kramer, his number one university out of all the APSIA schools is Florida International University. The next one being Arizona State in his own home state. So all eyes are pointing toward FIU. Inside FIU, we're looking at ARC. Inside those three legs, the Cyber Division, the Aerospace and Defense. Then, of course, you've got the D&D. We're going to decommission. We're going to collate things to Piketon. We're going to send them to the next country that wants to get a nuclear program, especially training, especially with that Triga reactor, that BWXT Triga reactor. And then we're going to have, of course, our cyber hackers. We will see if Mahar Bitar comes up in a few more articles in the Arab Spring. I think he is. So look forward to that. So great day for a Saturday research. You can see that I'm making my way down the Potomac here, and we'll have some surprises as we make our way to Florida.